You've joined us on a breezy day here at Reservoir Chicane, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Rob, but I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this one.
Racer XTC will have the best seat in the house starting from pole position.
But it's also a nightmare if they can't hold on to it. Let's see how they will handle the pressure.
Roll Postma is holding down the fort in second place.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
We're seeing Robin Overbeck in the third spot. Watch out for Megasaurus 55, starting from the fourth grid position in today's race. Stefano Canonica is going to be starting from fifth.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
Armin Sunoiler has qualified sixth. Starting from the seventh position, Jack M team will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. Our eighth place starter, Serato, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Maybe today Satan is lining up ninth. Starting from 10th on the grid is a good position for Puppy Dog from Hell to launch an attack.
But if they can find their rhythm early on, they could be a real threat.
Starting from 11th on the grid is not ideal for Wayne Pearson, but they're a fighter. Chris Ilduke is placed in 12th. Simon Barnes has some work to do from 13th on the grid, but they're not out of the race yet.
The Earthling driver has got something to prove.
The lights go out, and we are off to a flying start.
This is where the true test of a driver's skill comes into play. It's all about finding the right line and carrying as much speed as possible through the turn.
The drivers will need to be precise and calculated if they want to make it through this section unscathed.
And with so many cars jostling for position, it's a real test of nerve as well. One wrong move and you could be out of the race before it even really gets started.
That's right. The pressure is really on these drivers to perform. If this were a game of musical chairs, Chris Ilduke just lost their seat, dropping positions right from the start. This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. Not the start that Puppy Dog from Hell wanted in this race. Seems they have been caught off guard from the get-go. Puppy Dog from Hell is hounding Armin Sunoiler and is really piling on the pressure. Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob, and we'll see a return to form for Puppy Dog from Hell in this outing in Spain.
You'd think Stefano Canonica was driving a snail instead of a race car, dropping positions at the start like that. These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race. The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
All the drivers will be jostling for the best position, Rob. Some of them may not make it to the second lap in one piece.
Seems like Serato has gotten bogged down at the start and has already lost position. Hal. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage? There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Well, I did hear Andy say he was going to convert you into a sex robot.
Oh, not this joke again. Really, is there no better material?
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Reservoir Chicane, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how this race unfolds.
Someone must have told Jack M team this was a parade lap, because they're losing places like they're waving to the crowd.
Well, it's not the start they wanted, but let's see if Jack M team can turn things around before it's too late.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind.
Opening square bracket, single quote, comma, single quote, closing square bracket. Stefano Canonica looks like Stefano Canonica is coming into the pits early. Now is that to serve a penalty, or have they picked up some damage during the start?
Well, races can be won or lost in the pits, but in this case it's all bad news for Stefano Canonica. It's going to be tough to come back from.
Stefano Canonica's giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Megasaurus 55. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike.
Can they get it together and reduce the gap?
This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars, and the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Haha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics, and like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap. Hold that thought. Oh dear, Stefano Canonica has had an incident.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 11 out there right now.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Stefano Canonica's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker, keeping up with Megasaurus 55. The adrenaline is pumping as Robin Overbeck gets within striking distance of Wayne Pearson in their race for 10th. A brilliant maneuver from Robin Overbeck, who has just moved up the field. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Robin Overbeck gaining places and Wayne Pearson losing them. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Looks like Serrato is getting ready to mount a challenge here. The intensity is off the charts as maybe today Satan hounds Armin Sunoiler, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
These two are putting on a masterclass in precision driving. Every turn, every acceleration calculated to perfection.
Crikey, maybe today Satan is losing touch with Armin Sunoiler quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
Maybe today Satan's in a pickle, no doubt. They need to find some giddy up and close that yawning gap.
Maybe today Satan is hounding Armin Sunoiler and is really piling on the pressure. Look at that, Serrato is hot on the tail of Jack M Team. If Serrato doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike.
It's not ideal for Serrato, but they can still turn this around. They need to focus on their own driving and not let the gap get any bigger.
The gap between Serrato and Jack M Team is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 1.0 seconds.
There's still a shot for Serrato, but they need to get the bit between their teeth and fight back against Jack M Team.
We often hear drivers complaining about tire graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface, reducing grip and negatively affecting handling. It usually happens when the tires are not in their optimal temperature window or when a driver is pushing too hard on a cold or overworked tire.
Robin Overbeck is holding ninth, but Serrato is right on their tail.
That's right. Robin Overbeck is showing some great form, and it looks like Serrato won't be able to catch up barring any mistakes.
Oh, this is getting... Hold that thought. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Chris Ilduck is not going to be happy about that.
A setback for Chris Ilduke, who has just been passed. I don't think that's the fastest way around Reservoir Chicane.
With 13 left in this race, Jack M Team is going to need to make the most of every second to recover.
Hold that thought. I don't think that's the fastest way around Reservoir Chicane.
Reservoir Chicane is always a test for these drivers, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
Jack M Team is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Robin Overbeck at the moment.
This is where the mental toughness of Jack M Team comes into play. They need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when things aren't going their way.
A great moment for Jack M Team, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Looks like Armin Sunoiler is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb.
Hold that thought. Looks like that's a mistake from Simon Barnes. This could be costly. It's not looking good for Simon Barnes. They are still behind Puppy Dog from Hell and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around.
Simon Barnes has got a hill to climb, but there's no quit in him. They gotta keep on trucking and hope Puppy Dog from Hell takes a wrong turn.
Simon Barnes has got their head down now, working those exits and apexes and setting their best lap time so far into the 3:161.
Can Simon Barnes keep improving?
I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Well, I did hear Andy say he was going to convert you into a sex robot.
Ha, I don't think it was me he was talking about.
Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Look at this. A new streamlined charge socket.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot more aerodynamic than the old thing. That's a good upgrade.
Things are heating up as maybe today Satan tries to close the gap to Puppy Dog from Hell.
It's a game of strategy now, as maybe today Satan hunts down Puppy Dog from Hell. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Chris Ilduke is right behind Simon Barnes, keeping the pressure on for 12th place.
That's right, Chris Ilduke is determined to pass Simon Barnes and secure a higher position.
Oh dear, Puppy Dog from Hell has had an incident.
With 10 minutes left in this race, Puppy Dog from Hell is going to need to make the most of every second to recover.
Puppy Dog from Hell is hounding Simon Barnes and is really piling on the pressure. It's a game of inches now as Chris Ilduke tails Simon Barnes closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. A great pass for Chris Ilduke as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Simon Barnes has lost ground.
Go, that's what we want to see.
It's a close race between Wayne Pearson and Jack M Team in ninth.
Should things go south between Wayne Pearson and Jack M Team, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
Looks like Wayne Pearson is getting ready to mount a challenge here. As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right, and with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight, but instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. This is where the race gets really interesting. Robin Overbeck is closing in on maybe today's Satan. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Robin Overbeck's giving it some stick, pulling maybe today's Satan into a mere 0.5 seconds. As a former driver, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
This is a thrilling battle as Chris Ilduke edges closer to Simon Barnes in their fight for P12.
Can Chris Ilduke close the 0.7 second gap and make a pass?
It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Chris Ilduke and Simon Barnes. What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Robin Overbeck is right on the heels of maybe today's Satan, and we're in for a wild ride. Looks like Robin Overbeck is getting ready to mount a challenge here. What a move. Robin Overbeck has moved up to 6th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
This is what it's all about, folks. Maybe today, Satan is in hot pursuit of Robin Overbeck, who's just trying to stay ahead.
It's a battle for position, as maybe today Satan tries to make a move on Robin Overbeck. This is what racing is all about.
Looks like maybe today, Satan is getting ready to mount a challenge here. Armin Sunoiler is running 5th. They are trying to catch Stefano Canonica. Struth, Armin Sunoiler's not here to muck about. The gap to Stefano Canonica is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.7 seconds. Armand Sunoiler's falling behind Stefano Canonica at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. The race is really heating up. Serrato is hunting down Wayne Pearson with everything they've got. Serrato's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Wayne Pearson like a dingo after a roadrunner. Serrato and Wayne Pearson have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 0.6 seconds now.
Serrato has to keep their nose to the grindstone, even when the road gets rocky. If they can tighten up that gap, they might just bring the heat to Wayne Pearson.
You know, Hal, it's been a relatively quiet race so far.
That's right, Rob. The drivers seem to be pacing themselves and waiting for the right moment to make their move. It's like watching a slow dance.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Armand Sunoiler should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Stefano Canonica.
Well, it doesn't look like maybe today Satan is going to be. Hold that thought. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Whoops, maybe today Satan is going to be kicking themselves.
A tough moment for maybe today Satan, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 8th.
That's got to be frustrating. But maybe today Satan is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Well, I did hear Andy say he was going to convert you into a sex robot.
Ha, I don't think it was me he was talking about.
That's not even funny. What the are these things?
This is what racing is all about, two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Serrato is hounding Wayne Pearson and is really piling on the pressure. The battle for 8 is heating up as Jack M Team tries to catch maybe today Satan in PA. It's not coming up roses for Jack M Team. They're trailing maybe today Satan and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Can Jack M Team shift into overdrive and make a comeback?
It's game on now. Jack M Team has closed the gap to maybe today Satan. It's now down to 0.8 seconds. We got a close battle as Serrato closes in on Wayne Pearson.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Serrato must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
Big gains for Serrato as they move up the field, leaving Wayne Pearson behind. It's looking good for Serrato, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Wayne Pearson.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
Looks like maybe today Satan is coming in hot. They're approaching that turn way too fast. Great driving from maybe today Satan, who has just gained a place and moved up to 9th. Fantastic move from maybe today Satan, who has just gained a position.
Impressive. Maybe today Satan is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. Hold that thought. I don't think that's the fastest way around Reservoir Chicane. The gap between Roll Postma and maybe today Satan is growing. It's now up to 47.6 seconds.
Reckon they can pull up their socks and shrink that gap?
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? Jack M Team is hounding Puppy Dog from hell and is really piling on the pressure. Looks like Jack M Team is getting ready to mount a challenge here. Hal, what's the impact of tyre degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Every move counts now as Serato works to reel in maybe today Satan and overtake for P9.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Serato needs to be careful not to overdo it.
And Serato has just won the place from maybe today Satan.
Absolutely, Rob, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Serato can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
It's looking good for Armin Sunoiler, sitting in 6th. A brilliant maneuver from Armin Sunoiler, who has just moved up the field.
Yes, Armin Sunoiler is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
Superb driving from Armin Sunoiler, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Absolutely. Armin Sunoiler is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
Look at that, Serato is hot on the tail of Puppy Dog from Hell.
Will Serato be able to make a move and pass Puppy Dog from Hell?
Bloody oath, Serato is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Puppy Dog from Hell down to a scant 0.5 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come out on top?
Serato has just put in a faster lap than Puppy Dog from Hell, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
We will have to see if Puppy Dog from Hell has got any answers for that.
Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Reservoir chicane is always a test for these drivers, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
A great moment for Roll Postma, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Seems like Serato is getting in range of Puppy Dog from Hell. What a move. Serato has moved up to 8th.
That's what we like to see. Serato is really showing their class today.
Excellent work from Puppy Dog from Hell, who has managed to increase their lead over Wayne Pearson. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. But with every smooth turn comes the risk of wrecking their car. Who will be the first to push it too far and crash out of the race?
That's right, Rob. These drivers are like musicians, finding their groove and playing their instruments to perfection. But just like in music, even the best players can hit a wrong note. Let's hope none of these drivers make any mistakes and end up singing the blues.
It may seem like Puppy Dog from Hell is far behind, but Serato can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Puppy Dog from Hell an opening to catch up. It's true what they say, Hal, you're never completely useless.
Indeed, Rob, you can always be used as a bad example.
Even though Robin Overbeck is a fair way behind Stefano Canonica, they can't afford to let their guard down. Stefano Canonica is still vulnerable to mistakes. Stefano Canonica is holding onto this lead like a possum up a gum tree, but Robin Overbeck is closing in, down to 1.6 seconds.
Stefano Canonica is walking a razor's edge here. They need to keep their wits about them and stave off the relentless pressure from Robin Overbeck.
Robin Overbeck is gaining on Stefano Canonica quicker than a croc on a wallaby. It's a blink and you'll miss it situation with 1.2 seconds separating them.
This ain't Stefano Canonica's first rodeo, but they've got a real challenge on their hands keeping Robin Overbeck in the rear-view mirror.
I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Well, I did hear Andy say he was going to convert you into a sex robot.
Ha, I don't think it was me he was talking about.
Well, all I can say is as he did such a great job making us commentators. You're in for a treat. I'm going to blow your
Shut up, and take my money if there's a Kickstarter I'm in.
The tension is building as Chris Ilduke trails behind Simon Barnes. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Simon Barnes hold on, or will Chris Ilduke be able to close them down?
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Chris Ilduke tries to reel in Simon Barnes. But Simon Barnes is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Chris Ilduke find some extra pace to bring the fight to Simon Barnes?
It looks like Racer XTC has found another gear in the last sector of the race.
That's an impressive burst of speed. It's all but said and done now.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Racer XTC, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. What a fantastic race from Megasaurus 55, who brings it home in second place. What a race from Roll Postma. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
With Robin Overbeck in fourth. Stefano Canonica end in fifth. Twelfth sees Simon Barnes. Chris_ill_Duke take 13th. Armin Sunoiler brings home 6th. Jack M Team in 7th. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Reservoir Chicane, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Jack M Team will be feeling confident starting from pole position. Taking the second spot is Armin Sunoiler.
Could we see a podium result from Armin Sunoiler?
Holding strong in third place is Stefano Canonica.
And like many others, they are starting the race on the Standards tire compound.
Securing the fourth place is Robin Overbeck. We see Roll Postma sitting in the fifth spot.
A strong grid position, and they'll be expecting a solid result today.
Megasaurus 55 will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from sixth on the grid.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
The seventh starting position belongs to Racer XTC, who will be looking to make up ground early on.
They would have liked to be higher up, but that's not going to stop Racer XTC fighting their way through.
As the engines roar to life, maybe today Satan prepares to take off from the 8th position on the starting grid.
But sometimes the underdog can surprise you. Let's see what they've got in the tank.
On the 9th grid slot, we have Wayne Pearson. Serato is going to be starting from 10th.
The Irish driver has been driving the wheels off the Mark I Escort in practice.
Puppy Dog from Hell is in a solid position starting from 11th on the grid. Chris Duke is 12th. The race is on, and tensions are high as drivers navigate the first lap. One wrong move could lead to a collision in these tight quarters.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. Stefano Canonica has got off to a great early start, already gaining places. Gotta be pleased with that start, all things considered.
You know what they say, the early bird gets the worm. But let's hope Stefano Canonica doesn't get too cocky just yet.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race.
I'm looking forward to burning some rubber here, Rob.
Was Roll Postma trying to give their rivals a head start? They're already behind from the get-go. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage?
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there, Rob.
The racing is normally closely fought here at Reservoir Chicane. I think we are in for a cracking race. I can't wait to see how this race will play out.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob, and we'll see a return to form for Stefano Canonica in this outing in Spain.
The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start.
All the drivers will be jostling for the best position, Rob. Some of them may not make it to the second lap in one piece.
Jack M team is hounding Roll Postma and is really piling on the pressure. Having started in P3, Stefano Canonica will be looking to establish themselves early in this race. The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
Let's hope they all brought their A games today.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race. This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage? It's like Serato had a pair of wings tucked away, because they've soared up the leaderboard in the blink of an eye. Looks like Serato is getting ready to mount a challenge here. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Robin Overbeck is going to be cursing under their breath at that start, I'm sure, Hal.
Definitely not the start they were looking for. And now they risk getting held up in the early stages of the race.
It would seem Puppy Dog from Hell is starting to get a bit frustrated here at being held up by Megasaurus 55. Looks like Puppy Dog from Hell is getting ready to mount a challenge here. In your experience, Hal, what was the most challenging aspect of maintaining concentration during a race?
The most challenging aspect, Rob, was managing the various inputs and distractions during the race, from radio communication with the team to monitoring car performance and race strategy. It's a delicate balancing act that requires immense mental discipline.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Serato is chasing Stefano Canonica in P7. Good news for Serato, the gap to Stefano Canonica has decreased. It's now down to 0.7 seconds.
Just what Serato needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Stefano Canonica out of sight for too long.
In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
Oh, this is getting intense. Robin Overbeck is just a few car lengths behind Roll Postma.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curbs. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Serato is hounding Stefano Canonica and is really piling on the pressure. Robin Overbeck is giving it their all as they chase down Roll Postma in P1.
The mental game is just as important here. Robin Overbeck must keep their cool while putting pressure on Roll Postma.
It's not going to plan for Robin Overbeck. They are still behind Roll Postma and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now.
This is a tough situation for Robin Overbeck. They need to find a way to pick up some speed and close that gap.
The best laid plans of mice and men are hell, but it's certainly not going to plan for Robin Overbeck right now as they are struggling to keep up with Roll Postma.
It ain't over till it's over, but Robin Overbeck needs to kick it into high gear if they hope to catch Roll Postma's taillights.
Stefano Canonica is on a mission, chasing Puppy Dog from Hell, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
It's a solid performance from Stefano Canonica at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them.
Sometimes that's all it takes to secure a good result. Stefano Canonica just needs to stay focused and avoid any mistakes.
Stefano Canonica is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Puppy Dog from Hell to 0.8 seconds.
Now this is what we call real racing. It's anyone's race, wide open as a Carolina sky. Who's gonna step up and take us to victory lane?
This is where the race gets really interesting. Maybe today Satan is closing in on Serato. Maybe today Satan could be on a charge here. Hell, they have just put in a quicker lap than Serato.
The question is now, can Serato respond to that in kind? They are going to have to pick up the pace.
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for maybe today Satan, lagging behind Serato and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Puppy Dog from Hell could be looking for a way up the inside of Stefano Canonica.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
Looks like Puppy Dog from Hell is getting ready to mount a challenge here. Looks like Puppy Dog from Hell is getting ready to mount a challenge here. Disappointing for Puppy Dog from Hell, they now find themselves in 8th.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Puppy Dog from Hell needs...
Hold that thought. There has been an issue. Maybe today Satan is off the pace. Maybe today Satan is hounding Stefano Canonica and is really piling on the pressure. Maybe today Satan is hounding Stefano Canonica and is really piling on the pressure. Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Assetto Corsa Friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa Friends really is the place to be for top quality racing.
Wow, it's a close race for 9th. Wayne Pearson is ahead with maybe today Satan right on their tail with a gap of only 0.4 seconds.
Absolutely, Wayne Pearson in 9th is doing a fantastic job of holding on to their lead, but they can't afford to make a single mistake. And maybe today, Satan is looking for any opportunity to make a move. This could be a battle to the finish line.
This is a thrilling battle as Serato edges closer to Stefano Canonica in their fight for P6.
The gap between them is just over 0.7 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
The race is really heating up. Maybe today Satan is hunting down Wayne Pearson with everything they've got. The gap between maybe today Satan and Wayne Pearson is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Now ain't that something? Maybe today Satan is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Wayne Pearson.
Great driving from maybe today Satan, who has just gained a place and moved up to 9th. Hold that thought. Oh dear, Wayne Pearson has had an incident. Wayne Pearson's giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with maybe today's Satan. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. Things are heating up as maybe today Satan closes in on Puppy Dog from Hell. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that maybe today Satan must be laser focused on Puppy Dog from Hell's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
Maybe today Satan is hounding Puppy Dog from Hell and is really piling on the pressure. I tell you what, maybe today Satan has got more problems than a maths book right now. Puppy Dog from Hell is leaving M in a cloud of dust.
They needs to pick up the pace for sure, but I don't think they have it in them.
The pursuit is on. Serato is closing the gap on Stefano Canonica, determined to claim P6. The gap between Serato and Stefano Canonica is widening. It's now up to 1.0 seconds. Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Serato's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Stefano Canonica. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
Ha ha. I don't think that's how it works. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if they all just stopped for a cup of tea and a chat? We could have a lovely little race reunion.
Things are heating up as maybe today Satan tries to close the gap to Puppy Dog from Hell.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
Fantastic move from maybe today Satan, who has just gained a position. Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
Ha ha. I bet they were, but things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely. It's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with maybe today Satan gaining places and Puppy Dog from Hell losing them. Armand Sunoiler is placed 4th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Megasaurus 55, who is 6.8 seconds behind.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, Megasaurus 55 can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
He's pulling away. Armand Sunoiler is increasing the gap to Megasaurus 55. Armand Sunoiler's ripping it up out there, going harder than a roux on a trampoline and leaving Megasaurus 55 in their wake. The pressure is on for Racer XTC as they try to catch up to Roll Postma.
With just 0.8 seconds between them, will Racer XTC be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
It looks like Racer XTC is making a move. The gap to Roll Postma is now down to 0.4 seconds. Fair dinkum, Racer XTC is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Roll Postma is now down to a whisker at 0.4 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Things are going according to plan for Chris Ilduke, who is currently 11th. Crikey, Chris Ilduke is losing touch with Wayne Pearson quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
This is a frustrating situation for Chris Ilduke, but they can't give up just yet. They need to keep pushing and hope for a mistake from Wayne Pearson.
Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Chris Ilduke and Wayne Pearson. What's that you got there, Hal?
Oh this, I just wrote a haiku about motor racing. Tires screech and smoke, adrenaline-fueled drivers race towards the checkered flag.
Nice, Hal, it's good to add some culture to proceedings. Every move counts now as Racer XTC works to reel in Roll Postma and overtake for P1.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds. Who will come out on top?
It seems like Racer XTC has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Roll Postma's lap time there.
As long as Racer XTC can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
A solid performance from Chris Ilduke, who is holding down 11th.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Chris Ilduke is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Wayne Pearson at the moment. It's not looking good for Chris Ilduke. They are still behind Wayne Pearson and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. Huge shout out to the admins at Assetto Corsa Friends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Rob, and the excitement is palpable. I can feel it in my circuits. I mean, this is the kind of race that people will be talking about in the bar. We're witnessing history in the making.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Racer XTC trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Roll Postma. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Racer XTC close in enough to mount a challenge? Racer XTC has just put in a faster lap than Roll Postma, so that's going to give them something to worry about. The gap between Armin Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Armin Sunoiler to bring Megasaurus 55 into play.
That's right, and Megasaurus 55 knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Armin Sunoiler off the hook.
Armin Sunoiler is really belting along the track, leaving Megasaurus 55 struggling to keep pace.
That's right, Rob. If Megasaurus 55 doesn't pick up the pace, they might as well be moving at a snail's pace.
Hold that thought. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Puppy Dog from Hell's turned up the heat and put some shrimp between them and Megasaurus 55, making a fair dinkum gap. Oh dear, Puppy Dog from Hell has dropped down to 10th.
Sucks to be them, Rob.
Heartbreak for Puppy Dog from Hell as they slip down the field.
Definitely. But Puppy Dog from Hell is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. If Racer XTC doesn't pick up the pace, how? They'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike.
The race ain't over, but Racer XTC needs to put their foot down and chase Royal Postma like a hound after a hare.
Racer X on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Roll Postma like a dingo after a roadrunner. The gap between Armin Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 may be wide, but that doesn't mean Armin Sunoiler is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
That's very true, and Megasaurus 55 knows that as well. They have to drive their own race and wait for Armin Sunoiler to make a mistake if they want to have any chance of overtaking.
The gap between Armin Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 is getting smaller. It's now down to 5.1 seconds.
Can they keep them behind him? Let's see.
It seems like Armin Sunoiler is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Megasaurus 55's.
Can Armin Sunoiler turn this around?
Racer XTC is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. I think they are going to take them.
Racer XTC is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Racer XTC and Roll Postma. Wayne Pearson is placed 9th at the moment. Wayne Pearson's falling behind maybe today's Satan at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. It's not coming up roses for Wayne Pearson. They're trailing maybe today Satan and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at Assetto Corsa Friends. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Racer XTC is chasing Roll Postma in P1. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Racer XTC giving it some stick, pulling Roll Postma into a mere 0.3 seconds.
Exactly what Racer XTC needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Royal Postma.
While Puppy Dog from Hell is not under immediate threat from Chris Ilduke, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
Absolutely right, Rob, and Chris Ilduke knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Chris Ilduke's gaining on Puppy Dog from Hell faster than a rattlesnake on a mouse. Hold that thought. Looks like that's a mistake from Chris Ilduke. This could be costly. Chris Ilduke's losing time to Chris Ilduke like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip and we'll be in for a real dogfight.
This here's the make or break moment for Chris Ilduke. They've got to stay cool as a cucumber and keep it clean and neat.
Robin Overbeck has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Roll Postma. I expect their only hope at this point is that Roll Postma makes an error.
Indeed, there is a party going on round here, but I don't think Robin Overbeck wanted to be invited to this one.
It's game on now. Robin Overbeck has closed the gap to Roll Postma. It's now down to 2.7 seconds.
He's waiting on that golden chance like a hound on a pork chop.
Good news for Robin Overbeck. The gap to Roll Postma has decreased. It's now down to 2.7 seconds.
That's a great effort from Robin Overbeck. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
Things don't seem to be going Megasaurus 55's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here.
Right now they are the jam in that jelly roll, and the jam is the best bit.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Armin Sunoiler is getting smaller. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Armin Sunoiler is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 8.0 seconds.
It's not over yet, but Megasaurus 55 needs to get a move on if they want to catch up to Armin Sunoiler.
A strong showing from Wayne Pearson, who is currently 9th. A setback for Wayne Pearson, who has just been passed.
That's gotta hurt. Wayne Pearson will be kicking themselves right now.
A tough moment for Wayne Pearson, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 9th. It may seem like Chris Ilduke is far behind, but Puppy Dog from Hell can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Chris Ilduke an opening to catch up. Puppy Dog from Hell's in front, but Chris Ilduke is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 5.8 seconds. Oh, it seems Hal that Puppy Dog from Hell has seen their lead over Chris Ilduke shrink to 5.1 seconds.
Looks like Puppy Dog from Hell's got a hungry wolf in the henhouse, and that's Chris Ilduke.
As a former racing driver, Hal, how important is the relationship between a driver and their team during a race?
It's absolutely crucial, Rob. The team provides valuable information and support, helping the driver make the right decisions on track. A strong bond between the driver and the team can be the difference between winning and losing.
Buckle up, Hal. Chris Ilduke is cutting into Puppy Dog from Hell's lead like a hot knife through butter. It's now down to 5.6 seconds. Wow, Racer XTC is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race.
They'll be the ones celebrating at the finish line.
The leader has pulled off a real corker, folks. Racer XTC delivered an awe-inspiring performance that was nothing short of pure gold. They were untouchable out there, leaving rivals as lost as a kangaroo in the top paddock. This race will go down in the annals of history.
That was a true masterclass in driving from Racer XTC. You could see them making split-second decisions with total confidence, and it really paid off. What a performance.
Impressive second-place finish for Roll Postma. That was an outstanding performance from Robin Overbeck. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Followed by Armin Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 in 4th and 5th. In 6th, it's Stefano Canonica. Taking 7th is Serato. Coming in 8th, we have maybe today's Satan.